Or setup.
So you could literally start off with something that costs you maybe $20, and that's if you use like I actually did a training where I created aquaponics systems for it was 30 ladies in Guinea that I trained, and I had them to build small aquaponics systems that were in, I think these were like 2-liter jugs, plastic jugs. We took the jugs and we did the media, the stones in the tank. We took a small tilapia and put inside there. We then we had the net pot, and I had them plant a small tomato plant inside there. So, and we had, there's these little portable air stone connections that you can get. So you can have a small air stone to help keep the keep the water oxygenated.
Okay.
That setup probably cost overall about $20.
Really?
Yeah.
And this was in Guinea?
Yeah, I did that in Guinea. Yeah.
Guinea. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Guinea it was like 30 women, and it was pretty cool to see them, like to see everybody understand the basic technology, and then I had my teaching system where they could see where you can do it this small, or you can do it this big, or even bigger.
Okay. In your experience in this particular line of business, how many of us, people that look like you and I, people of melanated descent, would you actually say are in aquaponics? Even whether you're talking about stateside or on the continent. Can you give us some kind of data?
There's not a lot of us. There are a lot of us starting to get into hydroponics.
Okay.
But even still, the numbers are very small compared to other people. Mm-hmm. But I think, and I'm hoping that the people will start to get more engaged and at least look into it, because it is another and viable way of farming that can allow us to cut down pollution, save 95% water. You can grow what in our size, we have a 12 by 12 meter aquaponics system, and we can grow the same amount of food that it would take to grow on 10 acres. We can grow in that greenhouse. So you save space, save water, there's no runoff. There's so many benefits to green, using green technology to grow our food. I'm hoping that more of our people would look into it.
You brought up hydroponics. Can you tell us the difference between hydroponics and aquaponics?
Yes. Hydroponics, and a lot of people ask me why I don't do hydroponics. But hydroponics is basically where you grow, it's soil-less farming. But you have to add in the nutrients that are needed into the system. So it gives you a lot of room to cheat or to add chemicals that you wouldn't that I wouldn't feel comfortable adding into a system where food that I have to eat. So why would I do that for my people who, are going to be eating it also? Granted, there are definitely ways to safely do hydroponics and add the minerals and nutrients that need to be added into a system for those plants to grow. But it's more expensive to use like organic fertilizer or organic means through hydroponics. Aquaponics makes it a lot harder to add chemicals or anything because of the fish. Fish are very sensitive.
Yes.
So you have to be very strategic about because there are times where you need to add, maybe you need to add magnesium or some phosphorus or something, but it makes you think a little bit. How do I add this mineral or nutrient without harming my fish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to require a lot more technique, if you will, and know-how, as you say, in order to maneuver.
Yeah.
Since you've been on the continent, do you have any kind of approximation as to how many aquaponics systems that they have in Ghana, or just, let's say, on the entire continent? Any idea?
Well, in Kenya and in South Africa, you will find aquaponics systems. You'll still find more hydroponic systems than aquaponics.
Really?
A lot of people, because it's a delicate system.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful to not kill your fish. So many people who even start with aquaponics will convert over to hydroponics because it's just it's just easier. It's easier to do. And I would anyone who would be interested in doing hydroponics, I would say do that. Just do it. Try to find the safest and most organic way to do so, because a lot of the chemicals that they add into hydroponic systems are lab made.
It's interesting. I'm here in the UAE, and they have several hydroponic farms here. As you know, this country is pretty much desert now. When you go out to the east side, you do find mountainous areas with some grass, but they do have a lot of different hydroponic systems here. But I didn't know per se the ins and outs as to what you're detailing here. But it's also interesting to me that you said that Kenya and South Africa, I guess I would have thought them to do the aquaponics first versus hydroponics. Just seemed like it would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some aquaponics farmers in South Africa, and maybe a handful in Kenya. But as I said, dealing with fish, like aquaculture is a whole other sector. So basically you need to understand fish and understand plants. So a lot of these farmers, they understand plants. They know what it looks like to deal with plants, and to take the time that it takes to kind of learn what taking the care of the fish entails, it just may not be something they're willing to take the time to do, which does take a little time, because you need to learn their behavior. Like, how do you know that they're suffering? How do you know, what does it look like when a fish is sick?
Okay. Wow. So it seems as well too. Let me ask you, when you were in Guinea and you were training the group that you trained there, how long is, let's say, or is a training module for something like that? Because as you just noted, you'd have to be in tune with understanding if the sick are fish or not, if the fish are sick or not. So what does that training entail, in how you help those ladies?
Well, for us, the training needed to be a little longer because of the language barrier.
Gotcha.
So there was a lot of time needed to be spent translating things and making sure that the young ladies understood what I was saying. So we had a theoretical training for 3 months, and that training also it also included like some business training, some like understanding how to run a business and how you deal with your customers and all of that stuff or whatever. And then we had another 3 months of practical training, where we spend more time talking about the fish and their behavior than the plants, because a lot of the women had some farming understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it made it easier to focus more on the fish per
Okay.
se, and also making sure they understood the plant etymology, so that
Mm-hmm.
you can tell, like, if the plant leaf is turning this color, what does that mean? If this thing is happening, what does that mean? That means you need to add maybe this mineral or that mineral or whatever the case may be. So we focused maybe 3 months on that. And then the women who decided they wanted to go further, they would get like a year of intense training with us.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is serious. This is in depth. I'm actually learning something new for myself. And
Yeah.
just because, as you know, too, as we age, one, our attention spans can wane. So you just really have to be in tune with yourself to say, hey, I'm going to really make this happen and make this work and be focused about it. So
Yeah.
I guess when you talk about, like you said, the ladies who wanted to go further for the more in-depth and training that's for a year, I mean, you're really getting into the weeds of plant life and fish life.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is not for the faint at heart. You're going to have to be
No, it's
dedicated.
not. No,
You're going to
some
have to be
people,
dedicated.
I mean, they could go somewhere else and do a shorter training if they like. But if they want to become an aqua farmer in my company, I
Hey,
need to understand, I need you to understand this thing in and out, because myself and my partners, we don't want to have to sit and babysit this business. It's a
yes.
farm. You need to know how to run it, and you need to know what to do when some small things come up. Of course, we'll be there to hold your hand through larger problems, but I need you to know how to solve small problems.
Of course. Of course. Basically, like, you know how we do IT help desk and you can troubleshoot yourself first
Exactly.
before I actually call the queen. Honey, can you come
Exactly.
over? And
Exactly.
it's like, wait, you could have, that's so minor. You could have called
Yeah.
you could have
Yeah.
saved to get out of jail card.
Especially when I might be in Ghana, or I might be in the US, or I might be like now in Jamaica, and
Yeah.
I don't need you calling me in Jamaica saying, hey, I'm having this issue, and I know it's something that you can handle yourself. So we want to make sure that our farmers have as much knowledge as they can. And then there are my assistant farmers or my lead farmers who also have assistants who can help also. So we just try to make sure that everybody on the team really understands how to run their system and troubleshoot their systems.
Mm-hmm.